Hey there, speculators. Rod, your Futures Fanatic. Futures Fanatic is part of TDG. That's the Traders Dev Group, where I provide education for active futures traders and self-directed investors. Okay, I'm back with another founders interview. I'd like to introduce a brand new futures funding prop program called Phoenix Trader Funding. And just recently, I spoke with the founder, a Frenchman out of Paris, France. So a little unique. First French-based prop firm I've come across, at least in terms of futures funding. His name is Leon Grimm. I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. A couple quick takeaways is that if you're already set and thick as thieves with Apex and Top Step and all the others, this might not be for you. But if you're just kind of starting out, or even if you're with some of those firms, let me change that a little bit. This is kind of a diversification play. There's nothing particularly super new here, but Leon does make an argument for how he set up these programs. Some kind of unique things with some scaling. I like the way they're doing their resets, where you can actually get a free reset every subscription renewal, whether your account is in a violated status or not. So you're not incented to actually blow up or YOLO close to your subscription renewal. And if you're looking also to get started with a firm that's essentially just getting started themselves, so you get a little bit more hand-holding, probably a lot better customer service, probably can even email or speak to the founder if you'd like. I can't guarantee that, but he will definitely be monitoring the comments in this video. So if you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them in this video. And as always, what I like to do is make sure we get a launch special, so that will be down below as well. I believe it's 30% off the Ascension program, which is the one I would suggest starting with, or 15% off the basic. Either way, those are better and deeper discounts than you can get directly on the site. And that will be from now in time. I'm publishing this till I think about May 22nd. So make sure you don't miss that. I think you're going to enjoy this conversation with Leon. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's Rod, your Futures Fanatic. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, it's been a while, but I'm doing another founders interview. Actually, just published a founders interview recently, so we got a series of these going on here. Today, I'm joined by Leon Grimm from Phoenix Trader Funding. Leon, welcome.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched these before, you know the drill. What I like to do is get beyond what we see on the website. There are a lot of prop funding firms that you could potentially choose from. But we're going to get beyond just the website, meet the actual founder here, Leon, talk a little bit about why he put the program together, some of the highlights of the program, and we're just going to get into it right now. So, Leon, thanks again for joining us. Company is called Phoenix Trader Funding. Tell me a little bit about yourself, not only professionally, but maybe even personally, and how you got into trading and why you started Phoenix.
So yeah, I'm Leon. I'm a French person. I live
Oh, that's right.
near.
Sorry. I meant to say Leon is French, and his French is far better than my English. I mean, his English is far better than my French. So we're going to do this, of course, in English. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a background in engineering, and the reason for why I've chosen to a trading career instead of an engineer career is because, well, like many traders, I think I just fell in love with trading. I love the ever-changing markets. I love that you constantly need to adapt. And I've been an active trader for about 6 years now, mainly trading the SP, Nasdaq, and crude oil, but mainly the SP 500, to be honest. And I'm a scalper, so I trade with the order flow, the footprint, and yeah, that's a great journey.
That's great. So it's no small task to start a whole nother funding company, given everything that's going on out there. You're doing well as a trader. What was the genesis or reason behind Phoenix Trader Funding and throwing your hat in this very crowded ring? Why did you decide to do it?
Well, pretty simply because I was a Profium user, and well, I passed some challenges, I got some payouts, and overall, I just felt there was something more here. I would just felt there were room for improvements. So I've searched for quite a bit of time, quite a long time, a Profium that might have suited my needs, but I didn't manage to find one, and I just thought, well, let's create my own. At least let's try to do that. And also, I was a bit curious what it was like on the other side of the fence. So many months later and many sweat, here we are with Phoenix, and here I am talking to you right now about it. So just this fact is an achievement for me. So yeah.
That's great. So since you couldn't find it, can you tell us something specific that you weren't finding or a part of your program? In just a little bit, we'll go through your programs a little bit more detail. Anyone who's familiar with these futures funding programs will probably be familiar with the way you've structured your programs as well. But was there one or two specific things that you weren't seeing out there that you felt would really benefit traders and that you brought to Phoenix?
Yes. Just before that, I must say that Phoenix was started in June 2023. So it was, well, almost a year ago, and the development and etc. took a lot of time. That's why I'm here almost a year later. But the main reason for why I started Phoenix is because I couldn't get along with the unrealized P&L trading. I just felt it was some gigantic shot in the trader's foot, just that fact. And also, I was a proprietary trader, meaning that I had my live account. I always had my live account up to date, and the experience was not quite the same. And I always thought, why this experience not the same? And the reason for that was the trading drawdown in general, not the unrealized P&L thing, but the simple fact that the minimum balance is trading. And so the static accounts is really what I was looking for in a prop firm. When I've created Phoenix, it was simply not a thing, not even for special discounts or whatever. It didn't exist. Today, it's still a very little developed market per se. But yeah, that is the main reason why.
Gotcha. So the static drawdown and or any the drawdown trailing drawdowns were issues that you saw.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look actually at your website here, and when we're looking at it, maybe we can go to start to get into the actual programs and talk about them in a little bit more detail. So what I'm seeing here under the classic program is pretty straightforward, which is I think everyone would be familiar with this. Do we want to spend a little bit more time on this Ascension where you talk about there is no trailing drawdown and you've done some kind of unique things here with scaling and other aspects of this challenge. So can you go through this a little bit?
Yes, of course. I will talk with the classic accounts after that, because there were still some things a little bit cool to
Oh, well
say.
then why don't we start with the classic? We can just go in order then here. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, the classic accounts are well-known accounts, but the main idea was to sort of merge all of the good ideas that the others had, but in a single account, and to like add a bit of our touch too. So, what you have here are three separately accounts: 50K, 100K, 150 at standard prices. That doesn't change. What you don't have is the daily drawdown, which is kind of an improvement. All of the accounts include a practice account, which is a mirror for the current challenge, which you can reset at will, at no charge. All of that is for you to train. And coming up to the reset part of the thing, we also have some great thing called reset coupons, but I will talk about that a bit later. We also have advantageous commissions on that kind of account. In fact, the CME upward increased their commissions. Sorry, the CME increased their commissions a few months ago. Right now, I think. So basically, right now the commission is like 10 cents higher per one-ton per contract than it was before. This was not applied to Phoenix, at least to the challenges. For the funded account, it is, but for the challenges, you will have your standard. I think it's $186 per round per contract. So the commission is also an advantage here, and of course the scaling plan on the funded account, which I will talk a bit later on. But yeah. the scaling
Yeah,
is really an important part of the thing.
yeah, we'll make sure we get into that, the difference between the evaluations and the funded component of it. Okay, so now if we get to this Ascension, what are you looking to do with the Ascension, and what would you like to highlight about this particular program? Because it's considerably more in terms of cost, but we were speaking earlier, and you said that it has become quite popular with your traders.
Yes, in fact, that has become quite popular with our traders for a few reasons. The first one is that obviously there is no trading drawdown, but beyond that, you have an intra-challenge scaling plan integrated in this type of account, which is the reason for why in max contract and daily drawdown, you have two numbers. You have the minimum and the maximum limit. So 2 to 3 contracts and 3 to 5 contracts for those accounts. The principle behind that is very simple. When earn some profit, get further and further into the challenge, your maximum position size as well as your daily drawdown limit will increase gradually. So for the 50K account, this limit roughly doubles, and for the 150K account, it almost doubles. Meaning that the further you go into this challenge, and the easier it will get, because, well, a static account is obviously easier to pass than a trading account one, but this daily drawdown can be a sort of filter still. So
Yeah.
that's why we did that. And the second thing, and that is a special discount we have right now, especially for that limited period of time, is that when you choose this kind of account, you don't pay any activation fee. So the classic account activation fee is $149. It is the same thing for the Ascension account, except that you don't pay it just when you pass the account. Instead, it is deducted from your first payout, which means that the total price of your challenge will be that of your test, so 270. If you have the discount codes that we'll give in description, it will be less. And nothing more. So that's a pretty big deal, knowing that if you go, for example, for a 50K classic, it's $49 plus the 149 activation fee, so roughly 200. And for almost the same amount of money, you can have literally an account that doesn't trail never, and which is far more advantageous for the trader.
Great. So we covered a lot of ground there, folks, and we're going to make some assumptions here that our audience is familiar with these programs, because if you're not, a lot of the nuance here will probably be lost. But let me tell you why what Leon was just describing, I think, is really, really important and critical, is because a lot of these other companies, and I support many of the companies, of course, that I've mentioned on my channel. This is not something to degrade anybody else. There's a lot of competition, a lot of things you can choose from. But many firms have really gone towards making the evaluations almost like a gimmick or a carnival game, where they have nothing, pass in one day, trade 20 different contracts, all kinds of stuff. And I understand there's a big part of the audience that likes or understands how to utilize all that freedom and doesn't want any kind of rules. But what Leon was just talking about this is the Ascension one here, which is let me just bring it back right over here. Having an actual scaling program is how real trading works. I mean, if you started with 500 or 1,000 or $15,000 in your account and went crazy to start, you're not going to last very long. You only increase your size when you produce actual profits. This is aligning you with the prop firm. These prop firms are truly, I mean, at least what Phoenix is doing here, they're looking for trading partners, for people that can control risk. Okay. Anyone can put together a carnival game to get through an evaluation. But that's the importance of what this Ascension program is doing. So we won't get into all the details, but not having a trailing drawdown, having the ability to earn more buying power as you produce profit is very close to the alignment that I look for in my partners and what I teach and train on. So Leon, I applaud you for putting together a program like that. I think it's pretty important.
Thanks.
Yeah, so it's really good stuff. So let me just ask a few questions now about Leon. Full disclosure, he saw some of these questions, but we don't go through them all. So sometimes they can be little ringers. Do you guys offer currently a free reset when the subscription renews if the account was in a violated state? This is something that I have personally introduced to the industry that I think is very powerful.
It's true that you did introduce that in the industry. I didn't know
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Okay,
So
then yeah, go on. Of course.
so do you offer that currently? So if I'm paying my subscription but I violated, all I have to do is wait to my account renews, I pay my subscription and it is reset and qualified again, or are you offering that?
Yes. So not only do we do that, but
Okay.
we, went a step further because you said we offer a free reset when the account is failed and it renews, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We do that, and with that, we also offer what's called a reset coupon,
Yeah.
which is when your account renews, but it's not failed yet. So, for
Okay.
example, let's say that you have an account at 49,000 at the
Yeah.
end of the month, so it's below
Mm-hmm.
your initial balance. What some traders are doing is that they don't want to waste the free reset, so they just
They
you
gamble
almost
and they go crazy in the last 3 days.
yes,
Yeah.
they almost fail the challenge on purpose, which is
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
because they just throw away a month of work and all of that because of a free reset. So with us, what happens at that time is that when your account renews, your account is credited with what's called a reset coupon, which is an alternative payment method, and you will just have to select that at whenever you want, basically, and you won't have to pay the reset. So as simple as that. So when your account renews, whether it's failed or not failed, you're entitled to a free reset.
I see that's even an improvement on what I originally went with, because what you're describing is so true, is that a lot of traders, if they're below their starting balance or they'll purposely fail the test, or worse, just well, they're not trying to fail, they're just YOLOing, as we'd say. You only live once, and they put on a lot of size, and maybe they get lucky and they actually pass. That's as toxic of behavior to begin with, because remember, there are no redos and stuff in real trading. I mean, these evaluations, they've become, again, carnival games for a lot of people. We want to try to break that behavior. So that's great. I'm glad that you set that up like that. I want to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to go back to your website here for just a moment, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this phrase right here and what it means to you, which is "we trade with you, not against you," because I create a lot of content on these programs and I'm very supportive of them. I think that even if they are quote unquote abused, it's still better and cheaper and lower cost for people to spend money with these prop programs than putting 3 or 4 or 5, 10,000 in their own account and just blowing it up and losing real money. But there are still a lot of people that are critical of them. And you're here saying we trade with you, not against you. What does that mean to you? And how would you defend the current state of the online futures prop program business?
That sentence is really the core of Phoenix. That really sums it all. What happens right now in the futures industry, in the prop firm industry, is that people are opening firms. They are offering, the epic style discounts, 80, 90%, even 95% off sometimes. And what they do is that they basically give you free accounts, and they allow you to copy trade 20 accounts at the time, etc., etc. But eventually, when you pass those 20 accounts, what happens is that you will pay something like an $80 monthly fee per account. So that's how those firms make money, and I understand that because when you are a company founder, you have to choose between your company's interest and your client's interest, and more often than not, those interests are not the same. The extreme luck we have with our business model, if I can say that, is that those interests are the same. What we want at Phoenix once you are funded, our main goal is to put you in a live account, in live funded, I mean, because that is where we can really trade with you and not against you. Because the moment you are in live funded, your interest and ours are just linked. And this is my almost my deepest conviction in this industry, is that there is far more money to make as with an extremely good trader than with 1,000 bad ones. Because, well, once you have someone's trust, a trader's trust, then obviously he wins because he has a capital to trade with, he has a scaling plan to go through. We can offer him some custom offers to go beyond the original scaling plan, and we win because we take a percentage of what he gains. But after that, we can copy his trade. Everybody wins in this story at the moment the trader is in live. So that is why you have a scaling plan, and that is why with Phoenix, the clear path is really towards the live funding part, where we can really make our money. As simple as that.
That's great. So maybe we can talk a little bit about. Let's switch over to the payout stuff. And as I often say, I want to make it very clear that all this stuff is on the website, but sometimes it's helpful to to continue to go through it. So what I brought up is the payout rules. We don't have to go through all of these, but maybe Leon, from a high level, you can describe how they work. You call it pre-funded and funded, and you just mentioned that your entire goal to really align yourself with the traders is to get people into live real markets, which you do through your broker partner EdgeClear. But just at a high level, can you describe how the pre-funded to funded works? There's a certain amount of profit that they can take, and then again, I'll make sure I create links in this interview to all of these areas of your website so that people can see what's going on here. But can you just describe your payout policy at a high level?
Yes. So at high level, the payout policy is kind of, I would describe it as a kind of restrictive for now. You have one or two payout per month. When you start, it's one payout per month. You just have to open a ticket on Discord or send a mail to us to increase it to two. We'll just look at your trades and see if we can increase it to two, because some gamblers always want to have multiple payouts where they will just lose the account before the second payout. So yeah, the minimum payment amount is $500. You have a 90-20% profit split, increased to 90-10 after some consistency. We said between 3 and 6 months. It could be a bit less than that. 10 days between each payout. $100 remaining after the payout, just to have a sort of very little safety net, because if you don't do that, then some people would just burn the account just after the payout and won't understand why. So yeah, and the main thing is that after $6,000 withdrawn, you'll be transferred to a live account. What I want to say about that is that, from my point of view, I understand that those rules are not the most permissive ones, but we are starting company. We are new in the game, and so if we don't do that, then we just might get bankrupt for not a good reason. I mean, we obviously have the money to pay the traders, but I think it's good just in a safety as a safety measure to limit things a bit. And I want to say here that depending on the time you're watching this video, the payout rules have changed. Okay, they have changed. Why? Because my goal is to get rid of every payout restriction possible. So the consistency rule, the minimum payment amount, the maximum one, all of that. The goal is to get rid of all of them. And if you are in live funded account, so in what is called a funded tier account, you don't have all of those restrictions, because when you're live, then it's your money, or at least your profits. So you can withdraw them whatever or however you want, because it doesn't impact us in any way, or in any bad way. But yeah, for the beginning, those rules are what they are, and the more people will join Phoenix, the quicker we will be able to, lift all the restrictions up and hopefully get to this zero restriction point that I want so much.
Yeah, great. And to defend Leon a little bit, or a lot, I do a lot of due diligence even before I agree to take an interview like this and put any content on my channel. And there are some firms out there that just started up that have very, very unrestrictive payout policies and very, very cheap evaluations. And I'm concerned about that. I don't want to promote those programs because, as Leon just mentioned, they're not being prudent businesses. You still have to be a prudent business. A lot of traders are thinking that these payout restrictions or policies are to keep you from getting access to your funds. No, they're prudent risk management based on the way in which a lot of traders treat these programs, right? So this is very much aligned with what I wanted to see. If I had seen some 95, hey, Rod, come talk to me about Phoenix Trader Funding. We have 95% off on our challenges. You can buy 20 different accounts. We have no payout restrictions or anything like this. I'd be like, well, I'm not promoting that. Let's see if you're still in business 6 months from now, right? So this is the right approach that Leon and his team are doing, and I commend him for setting it up that way. And as he mentioned, once you get to a live account, much like some other firms that provide live funding, Top Step and Trade Day, and some others that you're aware of, at that point, there are no restrictions because you're in live markets. And once you're in live markets, the risk to the firm is reduced dramatically, and you can get paid out probably whenever you want eventually. So that's great. Um, cool. Let's shift gears for a moment here to, and again, I will leave links to all of the latest and greatest in terms of what's on the Phoenix website. Make sure you check the description below, and also in that description below will be a special launch special that we're doing as part of this interview. So, Leon, based on what you've seen from, and I know you just started up, but you've been at this for about a year. What advice would you give traders to help them in this process of passing and progressing as an online funding company? I personally recommend micros just because I believe they are small accounts and you need to learn to manage them as a small account. But what have you seen your successful traders doing? What type of advice would you offer now that you are on the other side of the curtain here?
Yes, it's true that Phoenix hasn't been open for long, but I have been a pro film trader for way more time, and I can
Mm-hmm.
say that the really key for me is just to take it easy. Uh, you don't have to rush anything. I see people trying to complete the challenge within 1 day or 2 days because eventually it will mean that they are incredibly good traders. No, a challenge takes at least a few weeks, if not in some cases a month or 1 month and a half to complete. So you don't have to rush it. Just take it easy. Even if the challenge renews and you're not and it's not looking that good, you have the reset coupons thing to really just lift the stress up. So don't rush. Just follow your plan, log all of your trades. You will have a custom logger on the Phoenix, by the way, soon. But just log your trades. Do things like you should. It's not that big of a deal when you know it. It's just you have something that you have already seen before that statistically you know that this thing works. Sorry, and you just trade it um, as good as you can, and you repeat, and you log, and you repeat, and you don't rush.
So you just mentioned you glossed over. I want to make sure I understand that you had said that there's going to be a custom logger. Does that mean like a trade journal or something that will be part of the dashboard or interface?
Yes, that's it. But that's a feature which is in development as we are speaking right now. So basically, it will just be an added value to the clients. The possibility to have some really detailed statistics into all of your trades. Really some insights that you would have normally to have to pay with another software. We all know some great loggers. Well, the goal is to copy the content of this great logger and to put it in Phoenix natively. And to do that, it takes a bit of time, but it's in progress, and you will have them in. I can't give a date yet, but in a few weeks or month, I think, if everything goes right.
That's great. Yeah, I'm not asking you to. God, I just closed the window, but I was in darkness for the first part of this interview. Now I'm like glowing. It's just okay. Let's jump around a little bit here, and I am jumping around. I want to cover a decent amount of ground here. So, switching over to your supported platforms. So, on your website again, it mentions that you've been trying to form a relationship with Ninja for Tradeovate and TradingView. Who knows when that is going to happen? I imagine then, as a Rhythmic shop, your most popular platform is what is probably like Quant Tower. What are most of your traders trading on?
It's between Quant Tower and I don't know, the pronunciation might not be very good, but Aras
Okay,
and Sierra
Atlas,
Chart
right? I think Atlas Trader. Yeah, Atlas. I think, right?
Atlas with a L.
Yeah, yeah. I think, or no, Atas, right? Yeah,
Atas. Yeah,
Atas. Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
So Atas is in second place, and Sierra
Yeah.
Chart is in the third place. You have also some more of a niche platforms like Bookmap, for example, which is more and more used, to be honest. So yes. And just to talk a bit about the Ninja Trader relation, Ninja Trader and us have a great had a great time this last year. I've tried to establish a partnership with them in July 2023, so pretty much after the development had begun. They said, okay, we can do that like in September. In September, they said in November, and etc. etc. And so I just received a couple of days ago a mail from my contact at Ninja that was saying that finally we will be able to do this thing. So again, depending on the time you're watching this video, this is really a thing that will come like in the span of a few weeks, like 5 or 6. But I don't want to, give a precise date or whatsoever. I just want to say that this thing will be available pretty soon, finally, because we have waited for that for a long time, and that is really a good thing to know.
That's great. So when you say Ninja, does that mean that you'll also have the CQG feed as well, so you can offer TradingView, Tradeovate, and Ninja all at one time, or is it just Ninja, the Windows application using Rhythmic, or what will that relationship look like when it's in place?
So what from a company perspective, Ninja has bought Tradeovate, and Tradeovate has a partnership with TradingView. So
Right.
if we have this partnership with Ninja, it will get us the three companies at once. So it will be the three companies.
Okay, that's great. So that everyone understands, yeah, Ninja Trader has bought Tradeovate a while ago now, and Tradeovate has a login to TradingView. So once Phoenix has that relationship, they will be very competitive with other firms that also have that kind of relationship. So so that's great. That's really good news, and it's further validation too of what Phoenix has got going on. I don't know exactly why it took so long, but sometimes now Ninja is just waiting because a lot of these firms are popping up, and they have to make sure that the firms are staying around and operating a good business before they can have a relationship with someone like Ninja. And again, that's part of my due diligence as well. It is not easy to set up a futures funding company. You can do it for Forex fly by night because CFDs have really no regulation, but everything that Leon and his team has done just to launch and be in business is commendable. So that's fantastic. All right, I think we've covered most ground right now. Maybe I know you're new, but Leon, do you have any success stories you can share, or do you have plans soon of publishing kind of your payout numbers as you get going? What are the plans there?
So right now we are on the verge of one and of a payout. I mean, and that makes me really, really happy because finally we'll be able to show anyone that we are a legitimate company. We are a legit company. We do pay our traders out, and that's also kind of why I'm here. Just go to Phoenix, make payouts, and show that we are legitimate because for a new company like us, it's pretty hard to come and say, "Hey, look at our great advantages, etc." And the traders will come and they'll just say, "Well, cool, but where are the payout proofs?" And we'll just say, "Well, to get a payout proof, you need someone to to give it to." So yeah, that's kind of a vicious circle, and hopefully we'll be able to break it pretty soon. But yeah, that is why I'm so happy about this first payout request, which will hopefully come in a few days.
That's great. So it sounds like then you're experiencing what a lot of other firms are experiencing, which is it's difficult to find good traders and traders that run the programs properly and get to that. That's not a slight on the firms. I mean, there are firms like Apex that I'm a huge supporter of. They're the biggest and they have so many customers that yes, they have a lot of payout success stories because they have a lot of customers. So I think it's definitely just a function of how many people you're moving through your program, and if there are ways to get even a small percentage to behave a little bit more prudently when they're running with these programs. How about that? Is there anything else you'd like traders to know about Phoenix Trader Funding? I don't think since you're in Europe, do you kind of cater more to European traders? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of traders in the U.S. that use these programs. Do you offer the DAX? Anything about where you're at, or anything else you'd like traders to know about what you're doing?
We have a lot of French traders because obviously the firm, and also that's an important thing. The firm is based in Paris, France, not in some places in somewhere in the world which is not trustworthy. So that is also an important point to mention. The DAX and the Eurex exchange will come. I will not say soon. But we'll try to implement it. But right now, it's true that we don't have really a strong demand for that kind of symbol. But we'll try to implement it. Apart from that, I wanted to say two really important things. I think is that Phoenix is constantly evolving. It sounds a bit cliche to say it like that, but if you go to our Discord, you have a challenge. You have a challenge. Sorry, a room called changelog, and in this changelog you will be able to see that like in every 2 weeks or every month you'll have a major improvement, a major features update since about January, which is the time we have officially launched. So really it is constantly evolving, and we have scheduled a lot of things to do, so it will get better and better. And the second thing I wanted to say is that we own all of our technologies. And in the world of recent scandals with CFD prop films, most of all, but still, I think it's important to say that every single features that we have developed, all the backend is ours. Is So we can control anything at all time. We don't have to answer to anyone about the rules or etc. If you want to change the rules, we can do it from a day to another. So really, we made everything from scratch, and I think that was important to mention.
No, that's great. So, and is your team, your technical team, and everybody else, is everyone in Paris, or are you like most companies these days, sort of spread out? Do you have any other people there locally with you?
Yes, we have two peoples that are with me. So
Mhm.
those are in the administration console. I don't know if this is the exact term, but it's what they are doing. So they are managing the technical part, and most of the development team is in the US, in fact. And the customer support is also not in Paris but in France too. So yeah. Overall, most of the employees are still located in France, which is a great thing to know. And the developers are in the US. They are friends of mine, and I'm very happy to have been able to work with them.
Oh, that's great. Well, Leon, I really wanted to thank you for your time today. And yeah,
Thank
just to
you.
be clear, you've been working on this for more than a year, trading for 6, but the firm just launched earlier this year. So if anyone is concerned that just the first payouts are happening, it takes a while to get this all up and running and get people moving through the program. Ideally, after this call, there will be people that want to come over and check it out. Again, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and it's going to be part of my recommended staple of companies. There's also diversification play here in these programs too, folks. Which is my take is there's a lot of choice, but it doesn't hurt to have relationships with a number of different firms, maybe even ones in different parts of the world, just to kind of hedge your bet too if there's any sort of changes or things coming down from regulatory bodies. And the fact that Phoenix has already real brokerage relationships in place, that's really, really critical as well. That's a requirement that I have now of any of these firms. If they're only SIM or have no plans of doing anything other than SIM, that's problematic. So, um, Leon, I'll ask you one more time. Any like closing thoughts or things you'd like to say for the group before we end it here?
You can use the code Ascend20 available in the description, hopefully, to save up to 20% on the Ascension accounts. And with that magnificent discount, an Ascension account will be like $20 more than a 50K classic account. So for just an extra $20, you'll be able to get a completely static account. And I think it might be worth a try. At least I would try it if I was a trader.
You might be a little biased, but I agree. Okay, we'll make
Yes,
sure that
I'm a
we'll make
little
sure that
biased.
we'll make sure that the offer is in the description below for parts for anyone watching here on the Futures Fanatic channel. So Leon, thanks for your time again. Really appreciate it. It's Phoenix Trader Funding. You'll be able to find links to all the information down below as well as timestamps. And we appreciate your time today. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.